Hey, sometimes hunting for vintage guitars can be kind of a weird obsession, I guess. I'm interested in them for a couple of reasons. I guess I kind of like the look of a worn guitar that's been through like a lot of gigs. It's kind of a cool thing how it wears. It kind of tells a story. You get some different wear patterns along the edge of the neck, discoloration. The finish goes away. Different things happen to a guitar over the years. So this is a '64 Strat. I have $300 into as far as the initial cost. I actually had the three-way switch reinstalled. I think it had a five-way with it, and then with the original three-way in the case, I'm like, let's put the original switch back in. So this only has, you can switch the bridge, middle, and neck. Here's the bridge. Here's the middle, and the neck. Just the way Leo Fender intended. Now, you can jam it between positions, maybe, and get that funky, if you get it just right, and it won't stay very good there. Or you can get these two if you jam it in between there, which I used to think that was the coolest sound ever in the 80s. I just had to have that sound, but now I don't really care. I just want the original sound. Original switch is fine. But yeah, man, these are kind of a pain in the neck to maintain. With a vintage guitar, you're going to have problems with the neck, maybe waving up here or having a hump around this part of the neck, or maybe the neck shape's a little weird, or the electronics kind of fade out. Usually it's the neck. Maybe the nut isn't perfect. You have to get a new nut, and the frets can be old. You got to refret it. That's getting real expensive. So you could, just to make it playable, you could be looking at $1,000 or something. I don't know. Well, especially if you got to plane the neck, remove the neck or the fingerboard and have it planed flat and then refretted, and hopefully it doesn't destroy the binding and everything. I mean, that could get really, it could get a little expensive. But the original pickups are pretty cool sounding. At the same time, you can buy Lindy Fralin or Curtis Novak pickups that sound amazing, or even Seymour Duncan or DiMarzio, or there's hundreds of pickup companies that make a really good sounding pickups that will just maybe blow away the vintage pickups. And plus, you can get any neck profile you want, basically. So, what is the charm here? I don't know. I think it's the historical thing. My story, my first vintage guitar was probably a 62 or 63, maybe a 61 Gibson SG Junior, but it did have the words Les Paul on the headstock. So back then Gibson was kind of unsure of how to market those, I guess. So they called it a Les Paul, but it was an SG Junior. What does SG even stand for? It was kind of a mess, but man, that was a great guitar. But the personal story for us was this pawn shop in Fort Dodge that we'd ride our bikes down and look at this pawn shop. It was called Nazi's Pawn Shop. Nozzie was the man's name. Nazi, a Lebanese guy, and he did have an unusually large nose. Yes, and so he went by the name of Nazi. I don't know if that was his real name, but he was kind of a gruff guy. Maybe he was in pain. He seemed like he was really old. He's probably my age or younger. And he's kind of a big guy, and we're just little skinny twerps. And he'd have these guitars in the window. We'd go look and like, should we go in, And then he would sell them to us. We bought that SG for $75. But the thing about that store had a smell of it was full of paperbacks, so it had the smell of old paperbacks, which I can really remember really vividly, that smell, of course. And then his store was really dark, and it went back and kind of disappeared into a black cave, so it was kind of like mysterious, or actually it was kind of scary, to be honest. So but Nazi was nice enough, and he sold us a couple of guitars, and that's a vintage guitar for $75 with the cardboard case, and and the hunt was on. Then I ended up with a Princeton that was brown, which I still have. I didn't even know what a Princeton was, or a brown panel amp. I didn't even know what I was getting. And I had a K amp. I've still got one, a K703. They're just weird, musty old relics. I didn't even know. I cranked them up and they would distort. I'm like, wow, that sounds really heavy. So it's all this mystique and stuff that I suppose a lot of people aren't going to really care about or get. But now I've got, there's like 266 black panel vibro champs. That's a 57 champ. That's a 57, deluxe. Here's that custom built amp, and then I've got a 63 reverb unit down there, and I'm playing through this custom built amp, which has some old components in it, old tubes, old transformer. So yeah, I just like the funky old stuff. So this guitar was refretted, major improvement. It's got a very slender neck. This is called an A neck, so very skinny. Gets a little fatter up here, but most people are shocked. They cannot even play it because it's so skinny right here. They can't fit their fingers in between the strings without getting, dead sounds. But I've gotten used to it. You gotta think small. But these pickups sound a little weak, probably. But there's something about aged, underwound pickups. Recently, this guitar was set up by the great Tom Bielfeldt in Wisconsin, and I think can't remember if he put it. Yeah, he put a new nut on, leveled the frets, which had been kind of worn down. Got the whammy bar to stay in tune pretty good. Yeah, a Strat whammy bar can stay in tune, but you've got those knife edge things that get worn, and then it just kind of clicks and suddenly you're massively flat or sharp. But somehow he was able to make it work. So yeah, the pick guard shrank and cracks here. Otherwise it's pretty original, other than the paint. It was refinished when I got it, so I'm the one that put all that wear into it here. Playing millions of gigs with it. Add some distortion or fuzz, it becomes pretty vicious guitar. But yeah, I do love, maybe I'll talk more about some other older guitars I have that there's just a mystique to it. I don't know. Was the wood quality better back then? I don't know. Let me check one thing out. Oh, good. I always like that on a Strat. When you can, that's a mod that I really like, when you take this tone control and make it so it works for the bridge pickup. Otherwise, you're just stuck with the kind kind of a built-in wah-wah pedal. So yeah, that pickup needs a tone control. So if you want to do a mod on your Strat, that's one I recommend. Other guys do some really fancy switching where you can combine these two pickups. Maybe have a volume on and off for the middle one. You can have all three on. I don't know. Clever stuff. I can't. That's beyond my ability to understand. I should maybe do that on a Strat. But yeah, I love these little amps, these old amps. And I'll probably be taking that custom built one out for some gigs. But I want to have a box made for it so it's super safe. I don't want to bash it up because I'm kind of a klutz. So yeah, man. Not everybody's going to get it. And sometimes I think I could sell this guitar, but would I miss it? Yeah, but I could live without it because I mostly play Jaguars when I play live, or maybe a SG or something. But every once in a while you need a Strat, so I'm pretty lucky to have it. If you ever go to Carter's Vintage Guitars in, or maybe it's just Carter in Nashville, just take a look at the old guitars in there. Somebody likes them. Old Strat, man. I think if you had a brand new USA, or something from the past 20 years, like a Jeff Beck model, or just a standard USA Strat, or even a made in Mexico standard Strat, or any Indonesia or a Squire Affinity, it would sound just as good or maybe better than this thing. I don't know. Yeah, I've had this since 1990. Yes, 1990 I got this guitar. And I played it in road bands and all that. And man, it's been through a lot of stuff with me. So I've had it a long time. So, yeah, man. Do you have any vintage guitars? Let me know what you think about them. Is it a bunch of hogwash, or if you've got a brand new guitar, it probably blows this one away. That's cool. But as for me, I shall probably keep playing some old relics from like the 50s and 60s. Maybe I have a 74 Telly that I kind of like. I just like them kind of beat up a little bit, because then when I stumble into things, I don't feel so bad if I ding it because it's already beat up. So yeah, new guitars are fine, but I kind of dig the old stuff myself. All right, let me know what you think. Thanks for letting me show you my old Strat.